All right.
Sorry about that.
So,
Sorry, OBS. My connection to Twitch dropped there briefly. We're back. Sorry.
yeah. Yeah. So at this point, I'm basically just going to be trying to detect that sinister signature again as I just kind of walk through the halls. If I can see any, like, medical staff that seem particularly off-duty or casual, or perhaps see any patients that are particularly distraught, then I will investigate that. Elsewise, I'm going to not bother anyone.
Well, all right. As to the latter part, you'd have to give me an insight check for that.
The woman who approaches, does she seem to be a head nurse or a doctor or something?
Uh, she
Or
seemed
an administrator or something?
she's more of an administrator type.
I'm going to ask her real quick. So, have you
hang
seen
on,
a lot
phone.
of, like, suicides or attempted suicides lately?
No, none more than none more than usual, and that's fairly uncommon.
Alright, just, Alright. Anyway, in words insight check for stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, word, you can talk to me an insight check whenever.
Yeah, well, she had to get the phone call.
Ah,
so
okay. Well, Eric, you can give me an insight check too if you'd like.
Okie dokie. Insight, insight, insight. Would that be perception? No, there's insight. Okay, I see it. I rolled a 6. Nope, everything's fine here.
I'll answer what it is in a second once word gets back. But well, for you, Eric, basically no more sort of people unhappy people like than you would expect in a hospital.
Right.
There are people who look
Going
nervous.
giddy with excitement over having a broken bone or the consumption or anything.
Right.
I'm back. I had to get the phone.
That's fine. I just need an insight check from you, word.
Yes. Which is going to be miserable. Let's see here. Because my insight is a grand total of 2. That is not a bracket, that is a parenthesis. Oh, confound it.
Typing hard.
No, it's not the typing. The thing went away when I impersonated.
Ah.
Oh, hey.
17. Yeah, much like what I said to Eric, which you weren't back yet for. Basically, there are people who are upset, unhappy, fearful, concerned, but that's not really unexpected in a hospital.
Right.
You're effectively in the emergency room area at the moment, so it's sort of to be expected.
Right.
But nothing that you would seem out of place is what I should say. You can give me an Arcana check too for your trying to detect the any signs of despair's followers and such.
Oh, confound it.
No.
Well, no, you don't really notice anything out. There's definitely some magic here because, duh. Because there's magical healing being done here on top of everything else. So, but yeah, no, nothing odd or out of place.
I don't think there's anything here.
Very well. Let us be off.
All right.
And with that, probably going to head towards a more lively area, place that's usually used to combat negative feelings with positive ones.
All right. Well, you can head off towards the entertainment districts and such. Again, nothing really you're noting odd about going on here at the moment. It's everything. Honestly, as you're wandering through town and the parts of town you go through, seems normal for a large city.
Interesting.
It's getting late, lass. Let's go back and get some dinner.
I agree.
All right.
And yeah, we'll head back.
All right, so you all congregate back at the Iron Cask at about the same time. Roughly. You're all back there eventually, round about dinner time. You are all able to get a table. Food is served. Drinks of choice are served.
I'm excited to have hot food.
Yep.
Grog.
There is hot food. The food is good. If dwarven, sort of more dwarven themed. It involves meat, and there's all food dwarves have taken quite happily to stuff they've imported, various surface crops, but they use a lot of mushrooms and such. Because
salt croissants.
and so on and so forth. The beer is, as I said, extremely good for those who are drinking beer. They do have non-alcoholic stuff, mostly water, actually, but
Yeah, I have a feeling that Aramia is probably going to be defaulting to her rations while here.
Honestly, the food that's prepared is actually quite good. It's not like amazing. It's not like high, but it's good tavern food for the most part.
I'm mostly thinking in terms of like mushrooms, but yeah.
Burger and fries, invented by dwarven pubs.
At any rate, so food is good and such. Eventually, however, so things are basically, dinner is sort of winding down, and their taverns beginning to thin out a bit. When something does actually happen.
Dun dun dun.
Yep. And the doors of the tavern open, and in walk a fairly sizable group of fairly heavily armed dwarves.
Okay.
Let's see. I need some sort of check.
Streetwise? No.
Streetwise history, or I guess insight. Any one of those three, specifically from Vendeus and Gjorm.
Oh, good.
Streetwise is my best option here.
So the people who are actually familiar with the area, then.
Right, exactly.
Boom,
And
10.
Vendeus. Vendeus, you're the one who has sort of get some more recognition out of this. These guys look like they're very clearly part of. They really have that era of. Really big. They're sort of part of. They're clearly part of a gang of some sort. They've got that era of sort of the gang toughs. They're very clearly here looking for somebody. They have that sort of era of looking for somebody.
Oh no.
And they're looking around the tavern. And
Typing.
And they quickly fixate on. They eventually, after about a minute or two, sort of fixate on your table.
Oh boy.
And you see one of them lean into whisper something to the other, and they sort of start spreading out a bit.
I'm back.
I sort of look over to Yarm and just sort of like motion for him to put down his drink that he has. Don't act like you don't have a drink out. I know you do.
what's
Eric,
going
what was
on?
your character's last name again?
Blackhammer.
Blackhammer. Oi! Blackhammer!
Clearly they're talking about someone else.
Blackhammer's a common name.
Gjorm Blackhammer, what are you doing back here in Ironhame? You know better than that.
Yorm's also a common name.
Sorry, lads. Don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, I'm just sitting there eating my food, my head down, and I've slid my hammer into my hand underneath the table.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on? I went and got food and suddenly tavern brawl involving.
We're in the tavern. We've been eating food, and like some soldiery-looking types came in, and they're asking about Yorm.
All right.
Well, there's very specifically not soldiers is the thing. As I said.
Like mercenaries, muscle, whatever.
Yeah,
They're street toughs.
they're very. I will say, words partially right. They really for the most part look like sort of street toughs, but they are way too well armed for normal street toughs. So there's something a little bit askew there.
Maybe they're hired for some purpose.
Look, we don't want to cause any trouble for the rest of you, but Master Blackhammer here should come with us quietly, or there's going to be trouble for the rest of y'all.
I give him a glare from up from my table. You got the wrong lad, boys. And that's an intimidate check.
Okay, give me an intimidate check.
Not bad.
16. They're somewhat taken aback, actually. And like the rank and file sort of seem more sort of intimidated. The guy who's leading them sort of says, as much as you seem to be saying that, sir, I hate to say it, but our information says otherwise. So if it turns out we're wrong,
Your information's wrong. You best walk away now.
Look, lads, we're here on Walker business. Leave us be, and we won't make you in any trouble.
that may as be, but Master Blackhammer there is going to have to come with us.
May we inquire as to why?
Ooh, that's a good question. Give me a diplomacy check, Nick.
Gazorch!
What, that thing Hana's good at?
Yep. He sort of pauses and
Just
goes.
coughing at other people.
He sort of pauses, looks at Hana. Master Blackhammer here was involved in some trouble, which led to him being told not to return to Ironhame in the past, and our employer has asked us to, since he's broken that edict, we've been tasked by our employer to bring him in for questioning.
Well, surely we can negotiate some sort of settlement without having to resort to ugly business.
Absolutely. And the easiest way to handle that would for Master Blackhammer to come with us quietly and respectfully to go talk to our employer.
You are
I
not
ain't saying
marrying
that
the
I'm no
dwarf to one of them.
I ain't saying that I'm no Master Black.
Do you say
What I
that
am
out loud?
saying is that
Yes.
last time
Yes,
someone
Romeo
else
says that out
open
loud.
place, I got beaten half to death. So you lads walk away or things will get ugly.
What did? Sorry, we had some people talking over each other. So,
I'm sorry.
Word, what did you say? I missed that.
Hana was like saying we can come to something mutually agreeable, to which Ramia growled, "You are not marrying the dwarf to one of them."
Okay, thank you.
Hana looks confused.
Eric, what did you? Sorry, I missed what you said. Also,
I ain't saying I'm no Master Blackhammer. What I am saying is that last time I got marched off by a bunch of thugs working for some knob, I got beaten half to death. Best walk off or things will get ugly. That's another intimidate check.
okay.
Ooh, there you go.
All right. Well, the mooks, sort of the more mookie types, sort of stagger back a bit. They're very clearly sort of like, okay, this guy means business. They're also they're nervously readying their weapons. The leader sighs, reaches down to his belt, pulls a pouch off of it, throws it over towards the barkeep, and says, "Apologies for the damages ahead of time."
I cast sleep at them.
Awesome.
They're gonna take their dang time. Well, they can have it.
Well, you should move over to the Iron Cask Tavern map. Either way. And I haven't not put the tokens
Iron
out.
Cask Tavern.
Yep. I don't have any tokens on it yet, but they will be there.
Which table should we be at? Probably.
Probably not the one furthest forward. You're probably at either this one or one of these down here, or basically you're not.
Alright, here we go.
They're coming in here, and you guys shouldn't be. You shouldn't be right next to them for obvious reasons. All right, I need to copy over their tokens. All right, so.
I'll sit next to you, you're my buddy.
If you manage to get all of them with Sully and we just walk out, that will be absolutely amazing.
Well, walking out. I mean, we got we're staying for the night, aren't we? So.
We can stuff them in barrels and throw them into the river. They'll
it's at
wash them in a
night?
human settlement.
This is at the night. Oh, I thought it was in the morning.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
nighttime.
this evening.
Yeah, we spent, because Aramia and Gorum spent all day looking for clues.
And failed.
Are they actually fanned out like that already?
They fanned out when they came in.
Yeah, he specifically noted that they're
Okay.
taking
I
a more
thought I heard that. I
advantageous
just wanted to clarify.
They,
So specifically, I'm throwing the sleep at like the commander and his immediate assistants.
Orf bolter. Crossbows.
Yep.
Dwarf hammerer.
I seem to doing some sort of checking in my head here about rough. So there are 5 of you.
5 of us, 10 of them. Hardly fair. They don't stand a chance.
Plus 4 AC and reflex when adjacent to a dwarf.
I was playing
ally.
Temple of Elemental Evil while everyone was sitting there, while I was sitting there wasting time waiting for things to.
All right, that should be about right balance-wise, I think. Again, I'm out of practice balancing encounters of 4th ed, so.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Gotta be better than what I was just doing.
And oh no, damn it. And you guys initiative.
All right. Yes. Let's have the cat roll initiative. Oh look, that's.
I am slow.
Wow. Sweet.
No, I'm last.
All right, so the one who's doing the talking word, actually, should it be a 3rd hammer?
Is it this cluster over here?
It's this guy up here.
Okay.
And actually, we're going to shift these guys over a little bit just so they're not standing on chairs. And these guys.
Oops. Ah, there we are. Oh. Wait, so he's standing in between chairs?
Right now, yes.
He was trying to sneak off to get a drink, but nope.
He might have been. I'm not putting the civilians on the map right now just because to keep things simpler.
Yeah. Yeah, less messy.
I need to roll for the bad guys. Don't forget, if you have not set your initiative on the tracker, do so.
Yeah, I just did. Should I roll my sleep rolls?
Just trying to do a cool sort of just like nice little soliloquy bit there, but I guess sure. Give me a second though. Let me set initiative for these guys. So
Sure.
the bolters. And the mooks are going very slowly because they hate me. Also, their
Not as
initiative
slow
sucks.
as me.
So. Also, because their initiative sucks. Not the bolters, the warriors, I meant. Alright, and sort. Alright, so yes, where are you centering your sleep?
Right there.
So you're just going to catch those 3. Okay, got it.
Yeah, they're fanned out a little too wide for me to catch more than one cluster.
Fair enough.
I thought they were going to be more grouped up than that, but yeah, whatever. Alright, so then... Am I at plus 10 now for my 2 hits? Yes. Alright, so top to bottom.
Okay.
Doot, doot, doot.
Okay, this is against Will.
Yes. So
Hit,
I missed the
and
third
miss.
guy, but I get the other 2.
All right, so they make saves to... All right, they make their saves.
Alright, so...
Top 1.
Yeah. All of them are, if I recall, let me actually, I have it right here.
Don't they not make saves until their turn?
Yeah. On a miss, target is slowed, save ends. On a hit, target is slowed, save ends. And if they fail their first save, then they go to sleep. So all 3 of them are slowed for now. And if the top
That's
2
right,
guys
okay.
blow their saves, then they go to sleep.
Okay, then.
It's 4th ed mecha, not 3rd.
Yep. I was just adding a macro that I need to do there. All right, so they are slowed. Actually, I can zoom in a bit here since we're not in the... All right, let's see. Let's go with... No, that's terrible.
I don't need to feed the cat. He's been fed.
That'll do. We were using that for marks, weren't we?
I don't remember.
I think we were using halos for marks.
All right, we'll use that for... No, not that one. We'll use that for slowed, sure. They are slowed for now. All right. That is your surprise round. That is so specifically that's what Word does during that moment.
Yes.
All right.
Also, this guy is also slowed.
Oh, yeah, he is actually slowed, but it's not the... Yeah, right.
Right. So specifically, it's number 6, I think that says? Yeah. Okay, so Warrior 6 and Hammerer 1. Those are the ones who are
Yep.
petitioning for Snooze Town.
All right, well, next up are the Dwarf Bolters. One of them will shoot at Cathra. The other will shoot at Vendeus. Actually, yeah, that's who they're going to shoot at.
The wizard put the captain to sleep. Shoot the associates.
Well, technically you have cover right now. They prefer shooting people who are not in cover.
Aha.
Mm-hmm.
As you'll find out. Yes. So, yes. As an aside, the thing you'll note when they're shooting at you guys is they are shooting. They are shooting to incapacitate, not to kill. So they're going for non-lethal areas. They're just going to injure you and try to take you out of the fight, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cathra.
Catherine slid by 1 square.
Sweet.
Yeah, that misses you by 1. And Vendeus.
Misses me by 1.
They're rolling like crap. All right, Vendeus, you're up.
I will shoot Dwarf Hammer 2 with a magic weapon. That should hit his AC.
It does. Just give me a notepad here.
All right.
So I can...
All right. 10 damage, and Hannah has a +1 power bonus to attack rolls and a +2 power bonus to damage rolls until end of my next turn.
Sweet.
This is double checked. It.
10
Believe
damage.
it's.
Actually, I'm doing this. Okay. Got it.
Actually, let's see here.
Thunk.
It should be. Oh yeah. It's actually sorry, my mistake. It's actually 1 more damage because I forgot my mod actually increased.
Aha.
So
Okay.
it's 11 damage. I need to go increase all my damages by 1 now. Whoops.
All right. Anything else?
Um,
Would you like to move?
I will throw my resistive infusion on resisted formula on Guillaume, actually.
All right, so you get +1 AC and can sacrifice that +1 AC to gain your con mod +3 and 10 hit points.
Yep. Cool. And then I'm going to use Moment of Escape on Hana. So Hana just right away
Can slide 4 squares.
Slide 4 squares.
I like to imagine Hana is still in her chair.
No, she's still sitting as if she's in her chair and somehow is not falling over.
Is that it for you then, Vidias?
Yes, that would be it.
Hana.
Okay, I'm going to go here.
And so you're going
I'm
to move in with that so you won't provoke?
Yeah, it would be like from the diagonal.
Yep.
So I will use my 5 Storms ability. So I will start by attacking Dwarf Hammer and then Dwarf Warrior 5.
Okay.
16 versus Reflex. That is a hit. Technically that's a 17, but whatever. And 26. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, he goes down to the House of Cards.
Alright, he's dead. That triggers my Rain of Hammers, so Dwarf Hammer 2 takes 3 damage.
So
and
total damage will be...
let's see. And he takes
9
damage from 5 storms, and then I hit him with my Flurry of Blows.
For 3.
So that's another 5.
And 5 more from the Flurry of Blows. Okay.
Alright, and I shift 1 square, so I'll shift up to here.
Okay.
So he has taken a total of 17 damage.
Yep, I got that.
Unless he has resist fire or anything, but whatever.
He does not.
Okay, and that will be my turn.
All right. Let me double check something on the hammer here. Just want to check the action type for this particular attack is.
Also, this triggers my shielding whirlwind thingy, so
Right.
yay. Screw you, flanking.
Oh, okay. All right, so. Well, he will. The hammer will turn to you. He has his shield and his warhammer ready. As
Okay.
a minor action, he's going to use Shield Bash.
Oh.
Oof.
That is definitely a hit. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to use Shocking Feedback as an interrupt for that.
Fair enough.
Well, that's right. That's the. There we go. So
Yeah, that hits.
I hit the hammer. I do 11 lightning damage.
Okay, he bloodied from that.
And Hana gets 5 resist to all damage till the end of my next turn.
Okay.
All right, so he is bloodied.
That's the first time Shocking Feedback actually hit since the beginning of this campaign.
You hit
So
one
it
other
takes
time, but yeah,
6 damage.
he takes 6. All right, and then he will knock you prone
Goody.
because, duh. Because he wants you there to
Minor
hit.
action to knock prone. Jesus Christ.
Well, he can't do it every round, so it's a recharge power.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will swing his warhammer at you at +2 on top of this because you're prone.
Because I'm prone. Right. Fuck
17
you.
Still miss.
Ah.
Because he rolled a 4. Well, he's done. The other hammer is slowed, so he will advance. Actually, is he going to advance? Yeah, he's going to advance. He'll double move because he is slowed, and then he'll make a saving throw.
Snooze fest.
He is asleep.
Yay! You're coming with us, Goran Black.
Yep.
All right, Gorm, you're up.
Well, my plan got ended because the guy's asleep now.
All right, come on. Okay, then.
Well, I guess I don't need to do that anymore.
I did my job well.
I do realize, Eric, that he gets a saving throw at the end of each of his turns to wake up, so...
Right. Well, I'll still charge Hammer 2.
So you'll clamber over the table and then charge. Got it.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm flanking him.
You're still prone, technically, right?
Well, technically, I'm flanking him.
I know. I don't know why I got rid of your prone signal mark there, but...
Yeah, you're capable of making opportunity attacks, you do still threaten.
Yeah, you just have a penalty to hit.
Well, not like I'm ever going to use an opportunity attack anyway, but...
Fair point.
Actually, let's go here. Yeah, I'll shield bash him. No, I'll just charge him.
I can shield bash too! Oh,
you can't use, you technically can't use Brash Strike on a charge, Eric. It has to be
wrong
a basic
thing,
attack.
Melee basic, sorry.
No, you can keep the numerical roll from the first one.
Yeah, because it doesn't change. Okay, so I hit him.
So it's a 17 plus 11, which will definitely hit. Roll damage in basic, melee basic. Ow!
Yeah, wasn't that impressive. But now he's marked. So now he has to pay attention to me.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, wrong thing. Something will stand out on this map. That should stand out fairly well. Not well enough. There we go. That stands out enough that I can see it. At least I can see it, which is important. All right, so that's it for you, Eric.
Yep.
All right, the Dwarf Warriors go. That one's going to shift to there. So he's adjacent to a dwarf, so they get their bonuses. And he's going to shoot his crossbow at Cathra.
Well,
And miss.
Completely.
Then he makes his saving throw.
he makes it.
He makes it.
He made it.
Unlike his boss. The other one's going to also shoot his crossbow at Cathra. All right, so was that save? Was that the is the slow on?
This guy makes a save to end the slow effect.
Right, and that's it. Okay,
Yes.
he's still slow.
He is slow.
All right, the other crossbow guys. Well, the two up top here. These guys up here. They'll shoot. They'll shoot at Vendeus for now. Actually, yeah, they'll shoot at Vendeus. He's closer. They don't want to all. Actually, they'll continue shooting at Cathra. There we go. Cathra
Tag.
takes 6. Take 6 more.
Ow.
And then the other two, the two southern ones, at Vendeus. I rolled 3 1s so far this encounter. Excellent. They dig up the
There
other
you
one,
go.
so it takes 6 Vendeus.
6 points of damage?
Yep.
Alright, and it's like, how much total damage I actually get for these guys?
6.
Okay.
And then Dwarf Warrior 7 will shift and attack
That's
Yorm
interesting. Okay.
with his Warhammer.
Oh!
Well, that
Well,
hurt.
he's a minion anyway.
Yeah, take 6.
Oh, 6 points.
Thump. Cathra.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Clarion Call. Close Blast 3. Catching the 2 warriors.
Okay.
And the snoozing guy.
No,
Close Blast.
that's
Oh,
versus
blast.
fort.
Excuse me.
Oh, hey.
Those both hit.
Yeah, let me see if I do anything on a crit. Anything special. That is. I don't
And
remember.
are you using a magic implement?
It's a minion.
Um,
No, I'm not even rolling damage.
No, they just go down.
Yeah. I gain 6 temp HP
Okay.
for a kill.
we did IK for so long that lost the habit of, minions are a thing.
Right.
So I'm used to having quote-unquote minions still having, token amounts of health.
I wish I had a burst. Minor action. Curse, Dwarf Hammer 1.
Sweet dreams, motherfucker.
And, yeah, that's it for now. I moved far enough to get my sweet buffs.
All right. Aramia, you're up.
Would it be a move or a standard action to flip the table in front of me?
I don't think you have the strength to do that.
There's a really big oak table.
Yeah,
fair enough.
that is like several people's. Yeah.
Alright. Well then, you know what? Screw it. I'm not getting up. I'll just stay in my chair.
Use the table as partial cover.
Kind of, yeah.
It's giving you partial cover right now.
Alright, yeah, so, I'm gonna throw, Chilling Cloud over here,
Okay.
because it's friendly. So, top to bottom. Yeah,
Both hit.
Alright, so one of them takes a snooze cruise, and the other guy takes, is it 6 or 7? Oh no, 5, takes 5 cold damage, and, has a -2 penalty to attack, and -2 penalty to his fortitude.
Okay. So noted.
I take a sip of water as a minor action.
Fair enough. All right.
Dwarf bolters.
Yep, the dwarf bolters are up. One of them shooting at Cathra because she's right there. Also, despite the shadows swirling about her because of her shadow walk, she does not have cover. She has concealment. But I rolled a 4 anyway, so it's not important.
This is just the off by 1 squad.
Well, she's at
You're not off by
19 right
one,
now.
right?
She's effectively
Yeah.
19 right now.
Yeah.
No, whatever.
The other one will shoot at. Ugh. I guess at Hana. You're
I
prone.
have 25 effective AC.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You declared the attack already. Make it.
Yeah, I know. Well, the only thing is I was like, oh, she's prone too. Fuck. Yeah, fine.
Yes.
All right,
Okay,
Vanessa,
then.
you're up.
Quick question to interrupt real quick, sorry.
Sorry.
Are you assuming we're killing these guys or not?
I'm
certainly not trying to kill him.
I'm definitely not trying to kill these guys.
Yeah,
I'm not either. I just wanted to bring that up before we got to the end and we were just like, oh, that's a bunch of corpses in a tavern.
Although technically, yeah, only Cathra and Arami have actually taken them out so far. Oh, I've taken one
Yeah.
out too.
Yeah. I'm gonna move over here.
Just wanting to know
and,
that we're not killing these guys.
Make the hammer 2 have a little bit of a blunder. Oh shit, that's damage. And he won't have a blunder. Nope.
Oh well.
Not happening. Oh well. Good job, Encounter Power. You are the best.
You the best.
All right. You the best. You the real MVP. Let's have him throw out an action point instead, and have him do staggering note.
okay.
There we go. That's a lot more like it.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
Hey, Bjorn.
Yo. What do I get to do?
Free
You
melee
get to do
base.
on the
intimidation
base.
against it.
Oh, all right.
And now question: brash assault. Is that a?
It's not a melee
brash,
basic.
Is brash strike a brash? It's not a
Yeah,
melee
it's
basic.
melee basic. So I guess I'll use it.
No, it's not a melee basic. It's just an at will.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a.
Yeah, Brash Strike is just an apple.
Okay,
Well,
that's what I was curious about. Okay,
he's
so
flanked,
just
so
make
you
melee
hit.
basic?
Right.
But you wrote
so
Breast
this-
Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breast Strike is not a basic attack.
I'm sorry.
And it has a boost to it. It has a
I-
boost to it.
So so it's minus. It's 2 plus 2 to hit, so that's down to 19 plus 1 is 19 plus 2 is 21. So you technically missed the AC 22.
All right.
Where do you want to push it to, Sketcher? If you want to push him.
I was don't need to necessarily push him unless, well, no, don't have to worry about pushing him. He'll
May
take
I
4 damage
suggest
then.
about here so that
I don't know if I can push him up onto there.
No. I'm suggesting it
can't
just
push-
so that Hana isn't going to be immediately engaged in case Hana wants to go over here.
Yeah, basically, Sketch could push him to here if he can push 2 squares.
I can, yeah, I can push him like that.
Well, you can technically push
Right.
him. Let's see, that's 1. Let me double check the distance here. So it's 2.
That's 2 squares to do that push.
Yeah, you can't put. You have to push him to there. Because each square to push has to be further away from the source.
Right. So
All right. Dwarf hammers.
It's my turn.
Oh, it's your turn. I'm sorry. You're right. There we go. Hana, go.
It's
You
all Skitch's fault.
You stand up. I think.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stand up and then double moves. Go tut 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 tut, and then I'll use an action point to use 5 storms.
Okay.
So, all right, let's do it top to bottom. So, miss. Oh, that's the damage. Never mind.
All right. So do 7 damage to anybody you hit.
Yeah. 18 versus reflex. 13 versus reflex. 17 versus reflex. So I get both the minions.
Actually, you miss both the minions because they're standing adjacent to a dwarf ally.
How much? 4?
Yep.
4 AC and reflex?
Yep.
Fuck these guys. Alright. Alright, fine.
Sorry.
Nope, I'm fine. You rolled enough ones that I can't really be angry. And anyway, I've got the guys with crossbows pinned to the wall anyhow. So
Yeah. They technically have hammers, but they're not as good with the hammers as they are with the crossbows. So. All right. The dwarf hammerers go. Well, the one awake one goes first, and the other guy will wake up eventually. He will walk up to Gjorm since that's the target of his vengeance. Oh, I should make his recharge roll. Hang on. No. All right. Well, therefore he will hit you with his warhammer, Eric,
Okay.
or try to. Note I said try to.
Yeah.
All right. The other guy tries to wake up.
yay!
Well,
He's awake, but is lying on the ground and is very confused.
What's
And
going
cursed.
on?
And cursed.
Gjorm!
how many hit points does this guy have left? I don't know that.
He's low. He's definitely bloodied.
I'll brass strike him.
Okay.
What? Oh, nothing.
I can't hit anything.
You miss.
No love.
But you
I miss.
you reestablished the mark, though, so...
Yeah, he's remarked. So
Remarkable.
That is it for you, Eric?
Pugum-chin. That's it for me.
All right, the dwarf warriors. The 2 up top will shoot at Cathra, because, duh. That's what they've been doing. Thunk, take 6.
6 damage. There goes your temps.
Ooh, not my turn.
Thunk, take 6. The question is, they want to pull out their warhammers and try to thunk Hana in hand-to-hand combat. Do they want to stay in hand-to-hand combat with the monk? Doop, 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 doop. Shift.
Shift.
Yeah.
Crossbows. They're like, this seems like a terrible idea.
Oh,
God.
jeez, ow.
Thunk.
6. 6. Seems like the warriors are doing just fine, actually.
Yeah. They're dangerous minions. I mean, that's...
But they're no longer adjacent to their dwarf ally.
Nope.
Who
They're
can't
done.
shift away from me to shoot me.
Nope. He's going to have to pull out his hammer and try to hit you with it. Cathra, you're up.
Yes, I am. And I'm gonna have some fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cursed Dwarf Bolter 2, because I can.
Okay, he is...
I'm equidistant from all 3 of them.
Yep.
Eyes of the Vestige, targeting Dwarf Warrior 4. This is versus Will. Oh, thank God.
That sucked.
With...
Action point.
Yeah.
Vestige of Mount Valus.
Oh dear, you're using it daily? Okay.
It's the end of the day.
Fair
Why
point.
not?
That's a good point. We are about to
Yeah.
go to bed.
Yeah.
Dwarf Bolter 2. This is versus its reflex.
Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't really particularly regret throwing sleep immediately.
That'll hit.
20 damage. He cannot walk or run, and I glow with the vestige of Mount Valus.
So that's Bolter 2, okay. Takes 20.
Massive crack of thunder strikes down, and they begin regretting their decision to mess with me.
Was this guy still cursed?
Yes, he's still cursed.
Okay, so he took 6 damage there.
No. Curse is single target.
Yes, the curse was specifically to that guy. If Yoldo was to attack that guy, he would take the curse damage, whatever the curse damage is.
I can do some fancy stuff with it because of Eyes of the Vestige, but you can only do curse damage to people you hit. And even then,
Okay.
only to one target.
And only once per round.
Nope, once per turn.
Oh, it's once per turn now. That's right. That's one of the ones they made per turn.
Okay.
Yeah, there was. I don't remember.
It's
which one
it was only the hunter. It was only the ranger that didn't get changed to once per turn.
Oh yeah, and that's really stupid, but at the same time,
It's actually fair because the ranger does such egregious damage anyways.
Yeah, because the ranger's already bullshit.
The ranger's like, yeah, I lose my my bonus damage is sort of like irrelevant by a certain point. Ramia, you're
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Considering how screwed up his dudes are at the moment, I'm just going to kind of sit there, take a sip of water as a minor action, and then I'm going to use suggestion and diplomats at dwarf commander over there.
Okay.
And I'm going to say is, this is not ending well for you or your comrades. I suggest you cut your losses and leave immediately. And that's a 20.
He looks like he's considering things. All right, that's it for your turn. I take it.
Yep.
All right, the bolters are up. Okay, Bolter 2 will shoot at Cathra. Looking kind of concerned and nervous. And in pain. Aha! He stopped rolling once!
Oh, you're bloodied.
Yeah, I'm at 1/3 health now.
Thunk.
Good hit, sir.
Dwarf Bolter 1 will sling his crossbow and draw out his warhammer. And attempt to thump Hana upside the head.
Jeez.
Well, he's accurate. That's usually strong.
Arrow warning.
Okay!
Wait, what?
Crit.
Damn.
So 44 damage.
Technically, has he taken damage yet? He has not taken damage yet. Technically.
The ally who was attacked can make an at-will attack against triggering enemy.
Go do that now, Nick.
And that's an interrupt, so this is while the attack is happening,
Yep.
technically.
So if you
Yeah,
hit,
this is why he's still putting a bit
I
of
hit.
crossbow.
all right, he was okay. You take him out before he actually lands the warhammer blow. Skitch's arrow dropped him to 2 hit points.
Yeah, he got shot and then just bodied against
So,
the wall.
Peter, this is the second time Arrow of Warning is critted.
Yeah. Ow.
Damn.
Arrow, and it doesn't even need the crit, because it's already powerful enough as is.
I have a feeling that Mr. Commander over there is really considering things now.
I love Arrow of Warning so
I
much.
can't imagine why. It's a really, really good power. I love that ability. It's one of my favorites. All
That's a
right.
good one.
Right. Well, technically it's Vendeus' turn.
Majestic
Cool.
word.
She's out of range, so I'd have
Yeah.
to get over there first.
Oh yeah,
what I
your
could
heal
do,
range
what-
only
what-
like 5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'll do first is Faye step onto the table.
Because why not?
Boing. Yeah.
Huzzah!
Like,
And now I'm in range.
He's a table dancer.
Now I'm in range to use Majestic Word on
Cathra.
Cathra.
on Cathra.
All right. So additional 3 hit points.
Mhm.
Plus your healing surge. I assume that unbloodies you,
I think-
Cathra, right?
Yes.
And then you can slide 1 square.
I'm
Right
good.
onto the stool.
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'm going to.
I imagine there's
Oh,
a
I don't-
dwarf right now, like, just kind of trying to huddle away, and I'm just like, nah.
And then I'm going to point
I
over
won't
at
bother
the
you.
Dwarf Hammer 2 and staggering notes. And miss. Excellent. That would be the end of my turn.
Hana, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to shift up, and I'm going to use Wind Through the Willows, which is a close blast 3.
Okay.
So I will use that in this direction towards Dwarf Warrior 2.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Wow, that is an awful roll.
Yeah, that is. I'm sorry.
Okay, oh, I'm going to use Heroic Effort.
Which will make it
Boost
hit.
to 15.
He goes down.
Alright, I'm going to use my Flurry of Blows to take out
Yep.
Dwarf Warrior 1.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
shift up 1 square.
And there's the 100 crack fist.
It's like, and heroic
You're
effort. It's
already
like,
dead.
oh, he was just in range of heroic effort.
The only way I could have missed him with that is if I rolled a 1. So.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, he will stagger to his feet. Say, all right. If you let us leave in peace, we'll leave. But I'm warning you. Well, we won't be back. Probably been wiser for Master Gjorm to have come along with us peacefully. That's all I'm going to say. Come on, boys.
Ain't no Master Gjorm here.
The conscious ones pick up the unconscious ones, and the ones who are close up to conscious are slapped
I will
awake.
actually help them out with that.
Fair enough.
They're just doing their jobs. I get it.
As Vinay will get close to Yorm, he'll lean in and whisper, "You know there are documents to have legal name changes." I'm just saying.
And as they
Romeo
leave,
takes a sip of water.
the remaining bar patrons actually start applauding. You get the impression that they're sort of regarding all this having been a wonderful floor show.
The day like the bard, the typical 1-2 bard plus somebody else who hits harder than him punch.
Right.
And me being a laser.
And that's all the... Oop, one more. I will delete these off the map. Oh, I missed one.
Be gone.
They leave. Battered, bruised, and bloodied. But but alive.
Yep.
They are very thankful they were left alive. If a trifle confused.
Wanna
weren't
go
actually
about my business.
They were not expecting to have been left alive. If they lost.
I'm going to look at the barkeep and say, sorry about that.
It's all right. That sort of thing happens every now and then. Also, they paid for any damages ahead of time, so.
So
He says, holding
as
up the
they're
bag
on
of
way
money.
Out, I'll say to one of the hammerers, listen, lad, just tearing some business and I'll be gone inside of a week. Not that I'm saying I'm no Master Gormer.
Vides will just sort of full remark. Actually, I'm surprised that so little damage was taken by the tavern as a result of the fight.
Yeah, there were glasses and plates broken, and such, but it wasn't that bad, honestly.
I've got this mental image of Vendea standing on top of one of those glass pyramids of glasses. He's
And
just
it's
standing at the
separated.
very top of it, balancing.
That's the weirdest dwarf I've ever seen.
Eat that goddamn red, man. All right. So yeah. Gonna get things back in order.
But yeah, the waitresses come
Well.
out and clean up the broken glasses and plates and such, and bring out some new stuff. All of you get some, all of you did something fairly cool, actually. So you all get basically, all the rounds of drinks or what have you are bought for you by various patrons.
Hooray!
Because, as I said, you provided entertainment. That's not the usual entertainment this bar has, and most people freaking here like seeing a good tussle. It's just nobody was killed. They're all actually appreciative.
You know, it would have been fun enough that if you killed them, but you did kill them, which is actually really impressive.
I'm just gonna keep my eyes staying in the vestige of Mount Valus and just crackle a bit.
All right, well, you guys can congregate back at your table and so on. It's up to you guys what you want to do at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
I'm going to take
I'm
a
not
sip
done.
of water.
Yeah, I'm still not done.
So yeah, I'll finish up my meal and my drink and everything. I'm like, well, guess I should probably find someplace else to stay for the night.
Vendeas continues to pose on top of the table over there.
He's flexing his mighty elf muscles.
Right.
Do you have mighty elf muscles?
My strength is a 9, so the answer is yes.
That's one higher than mine.
The mightiest of elf muscles.
All right, so what are you guys? Are you guys talking about anything, or what are you guys doing? At this point?
I will regard Yorm and say things are settled back down and just say, well, at least we're expecting that. To a degree.
Technically, yeah.
Sorry for the trouble that Master Yorm may have brought down on you. Not that I'm saying I'm him, mind you.
Of
Loudly to
course
the bar.
not. I never implied that you were Master Yorm. I mean, if I did, there might be a bounty on Master Yorm's head. You know.
Arami is going to kind of speak in her usual monotone, but with something of like a conspiratorial look. So if you're not Master Gyorm, who are you exactly?
I
Draw me
Basically-
rock gut.
Rock
That's who I
gut.
that's the name you're gonna go with.
It's my name.
Oh,
Indeed,
Gut.
Mr. Rockgut.
What?
so that's your actual name.
Oh, it ain't me actual name. I ain't telling you lot me actual name.
I didn't say your true name. It's words here. But now you're starting. Now this is getting actually a little bit more confusing for me.
You know, stones don't tend to be very good at absorbing liquid. So if you're a rock gut, does that mean you can't hold your drink?
Shut up. Besides, you clearly ain't never seen no pumice.
What?
Well, Carrick pumice. It's got all these old holes in it, and let's soak up liquid right good.
It also can float.
Also good for taking the calluses off your feet.
Yes.
Ugh.
Aramia scribbles a footnote into her book. Bonus points for punnery.
The
You just got it.
real. No.
I just got it.
Yeah.
I'm having a sketch can't think of the words to say moment, which is frequent. Videus leans in the arm and sort of rings up an eyebrow. It's like, so, okay. Is Yorm an alias? Yes or no?
That's what I've always been.
Okay.
But now I'm here,
That's-
so now I'm Drummy Rockgut. Till it's time for me to go. Then I'll go back to being Yorm.
Okay. That's what I was asking about. Anyway.
Grummy.
At least his name
Top me
isn't.
head.
At least his name isn't
It's,
Crummy.
it certainly sounds like that. But we all have our particulars when it comes to our names.
Right,
That's
broke
the name
cannon.
we choose to have. Hey, that's my ma's name. You get
Hey,
disrespect
nothing
my ma's
wrong with
name.
it.
And cat sneezed.
So,
Adorable.
So,
in either case, I suppose we need to be ready in case further situations occur during our time here.
Hana's enjoying the drinks that people have bought for.
Yeah.
She's not holding up too well. I've only got 12 Constitution.
well, they're not buying. They're not buying as much for you as they would be for a dwarf. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Yes.
Clearly, you can't hold your liquor the way a dwarf can.
They're trying actively to get Yorm and I drunk, but I don't think it's going to work with either of us.
I'm just curious as to why they're trying to not get as many drinks for me. I mean, I don't know what
you're
their
a
problem
dwarf
is.
too, yeah.
Yeah. Got
Exactly.
a proper beard and everything.
My bluff isn't that good.
No, it's not.
If I was a changeling, that'd be a whole different business. Then that would be amazing.
Yor makes that comment and Hana starts laughing uncharacteristically loudly. Ah!
Aramia pinches the bridge of her nose, takes a sip of water, closes her book, and excuses herself.
All as a minor action.
All interaction.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do this evening?
Nothing I think notable for me.
No, probably not.
All right. That's cool.
Buy a book of
Not gonna be
love
back
and erotica.
So.
That can be arranged if you want it.
I'm a bit drunk.
You'll look and you'll find it at Portobello
I'm legit crying right now.
Okay, I wasn't anticipating that. Thank you, Nick. I should have been. I should have seen that coming.
So I'll just mark off 1 gold because I buy premium shit.
Sure, why not?
You laugh now, but we're gonna come across some weird freak who's just like, I'll stop destroying the town if you can supply me with this.
All right. Well, therefore, you guys head off to bed. I take it.
Yep.
All right. You all get a reasonable night's sleep. Honestly, you are not disturbed in the
Yay.
evening.
Where's
No
my
assassins come in
sniper?
the night for Gjorm.
Nah, they wouldn't send assassins.
Just for the rest of us.
Probably actual guards next time.
And it is the next morning. All right. Well, you are all down at breakfast with Brother Gex, who's down there with you this time.
We'll probably inform him of the scuffle.
I think he's already been informed.
He's aware.
You might have been there.
Yeah, he was like over behind the countertop saying it's like 50 gold on the group.
So yeah, he's basically sort of. So well, I have some things I'm going to look. Some places I'm going to look into a few things during the day today. What are you all plan? What are all your plans for today? For the day?
Well,
Failing any leads, just gonna poke around more.
I'm going to seek some libraries and look for books relating to older times.
Yep.
Specifically,
Yeah.
the time frame that the things. I'm basically just going to look for anything relating to discord and despair.
Fair enough.
'Cause, yeah.
I took care of my business yesterday, so I will simply be making myself available here.
Nick, out of curiosity, did you pass on any information? Anything you heard from the matron of the temple? Out of curiosity.
No.
Okay. I wanted to know if you had passed that on or not. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Gex, okay. Well, I have some people I need to go talk to. You are all therefore free to do as you see fit in town, I guess, for the day. If I have need of you, I'll send messenger to. So I'll leave word here. I advise you guys to check in here from time to time, see if I've left word. But I don't expect anything particularly pressing will come up while I'm out and about.
of course.
You're damn not leaving me behind.
And with that, he sort of bows to you all and puts his hat on his head. And,
I got the joke.
Yes.
yes, he he sort of bows to you, flourishes with a flourish of his hat, puts it back on his head. His comically oversized hat, and leaves.
All right then.
The
Barkeep,
cane is going.
hangover cure.
You hear the barkeep laughing, and he brings over a glass filled with something.
Glug glug glug.
It tastes foul, but your head actually does start feeling better a little bit later. It takes a little while, but eventually it starts feeling better.
If I hear that, I'm going to giggle slightly at Hannah.
And
whisper to myself, "That's what you get for punching me."
I could punch you harder.
She can.
I think I'd have to pay you for that.
Oh no,
So others have. Others have.
Hano raises an eyebrow.
Are you attempting to arrange a marriage between the two of you now?
Is it,
You
I
seem,
think that we
you
just
seem
go-
very, you seem very caught up on that whole thing.
I find it nothing short of ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Indeed.
How so?
I do not comprehend the concepts of family and whatnot. I don't see how anyone enjoys any of it.
What, you were raised by, like, crocodiles and whatnot?
I was raised by my mentor. My father wants nothing to do with me.
So, and you might say that your mentor might be like your dad, then?
I don't think she would be a father figure, no.
Or your ma?
Regardless, I don't put any stock in such sentimentality.
Well,
I mean, not to invite you to any parties.
speaking of family, there's always a chance that the Road Cannon Trade House could always use a bit of helping hand. If nothing else is being done, I might meander over there and aid with moving things around, keeping track of inventory, getting caught up on family matters over there.
Well, and I gotta find someplace to else to stay tonight. Because, well, they weren't back last night. They will be back. Rather not bring that down on you lot.
Let's dig a hole and put you in it.
I get it. May I suggest that you remain with our tall dwarven friend? I imagine his family can accommodate.
I'm not looking to put anyone out, cause any trouble for anyone. Any more than I already have.
Just a suggestion.
Gorm, when there are people around you who are asking to help, it is best just to let them.
Alright.
Hey, you want to beat the family?
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Alright, let's just... Besides, you'll be better at moving crates than I will.
That's all we're doing. Yeah.
All right. Well, so you guys are off to go talk. Okay. So
Sable has that song stuck in his head now.
Good.
all right. So Vindeus and Yorm are headed off to the Rocannons.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rest of you doing?
Ramia's just going to keep trying to find any disturbances or magical signals.
Hana's going to hide her annoyed looks at Ramia until she leaves.
All right. Anything else?
As I said, I'm going to read books.
You're going to the library to read. Got it.
I am going to the biggest, best library in the city. That is publicly available and won't get me killed for, like, sneaking in or something. Not that that would stop me from trying.
Fair point. All right. So
It
you're
wouldn't be much of a library if it wasn't open. Then it would be more of an archive.
Well, most libraries, sort of during this sort of time period that in the real world were privately held things by like nobles and such.
Yeah,
or
like
by like monasteries. The concept of public
I'm not
libraries.
trying to get like into the royal archive collection of books unless they'll let me in.
Yeah, and you're not
Just do
trying to
this
infiltrate the Silver Stars.
But like the concept of a public library is a fairly modern one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Libraries used to be used to keep information away from the masses, not to make it available to the masses.
But given that this is a more
the whole surf thing.
true, but given this, it's a more I'm trying to think of the right word. There are some anachronisms in most D&D games, and a public library is one that I kind of like. So,
All right.
Right.
so there probably is at least one library that's open to anybody who wants to come in. I think of what it would be. Give me a moment. I want to look at my campaign documents.
I'm gonna buy her real quick. I'll be back.
Sure. Honestly, I would expect that the largest sort of public library would probably be that's open to anybody would be would probably be in the temple to the scribe. That was not directly a branch of the Quietus Order, because the scribe does have other people, devotees other than the Quietus Order.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that should my own searching prove fruitless, I am going to meet up with Cathra there.
Fair point.
I will note that I am not for the Quietus Order that I was previously at was not the one here.
Right. That's fine. If
I
you want...
left the city to go somewhere else.
Right.
That being said, I imagine that I am most unwelcome anyway, and will not be trying it. And, yeah.
So how many different profanities does Hana mutter when Iramia leaves? Why Wyrot step away?
I don't know. At any rate, let's see. Things that will happen where you're looking at things. All right. Well, I'll handle the things that I most easily handle. So, Cathra, while you're at the library, what is it you're in particular looking for?
The thing I'm keeping an eye out most is how Lord Despair, any information about how his followers and things around him worked, if there's any information of that to be found.
That's a good question.
I'm keeping a lesser eye out for stuff about Lady Discord.
Right.
Specifically, things about how these daggers work and how they're made, because I'm really interested in that. But in general,
all right.
Also, if that works.
All right, well, this library, give me a history check, and I'll sort of... I'll think about exactly how much information the library would have had.
1.
Okay. You honestly don't find much information on that stuff in this particular library. I was going to say, if you rolled particularly well, you might have been able to find a nugget or two, but... honestly, that sort of stuff really wouldn't be in this sort of library. You're after spending a good chunk of time there, and eventually, by the way, sort of your travels around town, you've really seen no real sort of indications of what you're looking for wandering around town.
I can't get a signal.
No, really no.
My arcane senses just keep going boop 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 boop.
Yeah, it's at a guess. Honestly, it's a big town, and whatever.
If nothing else, at least I'm learning the layout.
Yeah, that's a plus. You're actually eventually learning the layout of the town. You eventually find your way to the library where Cathra is sort of pouring through a gigantic pile of books.
Any luck?
None yet. If you want to help, I'll point at the pile of unread books. You can start here.
I suspect this is not a worthwhile pursuit if you've not found anything yet.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, at a guess, you can be a history check also, word.
Alright.
You might find more in the stacks. Maybe you'll have better luck.
I think I did.
Just a bit.
You rolled much better. You guys find...
Yeah, I rolled a 19.
Only plus 18.
So, alright, let's see. What information would you be able to find here? Yeah, you rolled well enough that you'll find whatever information is actually available in this library, which is scant.
Right.
Peter's just like, damn it.
Well, no,
30s.
it's fine, honestly, because again, there's not much information here. The problem is that both of you sort of realize that this sort of information you're looking for is mostly held in private collections. Mostly,
Yeah.
like, the Quietest Order probably has some. You at a guess, like the Silver Stars probably have some. Although most of their books are most of their texts are directly related to more magically focused stuff like names, true names, and such. The Quietest Order are the people who have the most sort of widely known collection of books on history and the like.
I'm just remembering a time in the first game I ran where a player rolled a number similar, over 30 on a check, and I was just like, because it was it involved the Rizdun, and I was like, I don't think they'd know that, but they rolled so well, they have to know something. Poop.
Well, okay, so it basically the bits you get on you do find a little bit of information on Lord Despair, but not much. The things you know is that legends say that when the Nine were defeated, they were banished to the fringes of creation and imprisoned in iron towers.
Mm-hmm.
And that Lord Despair's was somewhere was the northernmost tower. Additionally, that Lord Despair Lord Despair himself didn't have a particular modus operandi. His various lieutenants all had sort of their own sort of focuses.
I see.
Hang on a second, I need to do one quick thing.
I imagine that Arami is reading this in the stacks while Cather sits there poring over some book of dwarvish history that has nothing to do with this.
I like to just imagine that Arami just kind of looked over to the left, went, huh, picked up one thing, oh, and then feels disgusted with herself that she forgot this particular note. Because she probably knew this.
You knew about an ice cream truck? Oh, I wish I had an ice cream truck.
We all know about.
I know about ice and all of it that which pertains.
But do you know about trucks?
Arami is a connoisseur of desserts.
Clearly.
Chocolate mousse.
A room with a chocolate mousse.
Dimension consisted entirely of dookie.
Oh, that makes it so much worse.
All right.
Forgot about that line.
The one sort of the most notable of his lieutenants that you find a little bit of information to is one referred to as Gloom. And he was most notorious for making deals with nobility and people of importance, and basically by sort of feeding on by basically finding sort of their weaknesses and offering to make deals of
Right.
basically making deals
Trading
for
power for their name or whatever.
well, not necessarily just for the name, but for a position of influence, influencing them in ways that would benefit Lord Despair's eventual goals, by preying on their weaknesses and their deepest fears and such, and like.
So pulling an Asmodeus.
Yeah, kinda.
Duly noted. Incidentally, does Gloom have a sibling named Doom?
Who knows?
It had to be asked. And with that, the cat leaves.
But yes, that is the only sort of real bit of information you get out of that. What I just mentioned there. At a guess, the Quietest Order probably would have more information, but you'd have to get in, and they're not well known for letting people access their libraries, at will.
Right. That being said, Romeo is very strongly beginning to suspect that the shadow coming here was just incidental in its grander pursuit towards the north.
It's possible.
I want to go to 2 churches, specifically. I want to find the primary one for the Maker, and give a bit of info and find the head priest there, and give a bit of info. And then I want to find a, if there's a temple to the Whisperer around here.
There almost certainly is.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that stuff in a bit because I don't want to.
Yeah. Not only that, my head's starting to hurt. So.
Okay. Well. All right. So, Gjorm and Vindeus.
Yo.
Is Sketch back yet?
It's a question. Is Sketch back yet? No, apparently not.
I've been here. I just had to mute myself.
Oh, sorry. You had to mute
because
yourself. That's fine. All right.
Yeah.
So, you were going off to the Rocannons again.
Mm-hmm.
What were you planning to do there?
Well, 2 things. One was to assist as needed for just things around the trade house, just because there's always things to do with the trade house.
Yes, there is.
And secondly, is just sort of kind of just keep an ear out for things that might be said amongst patrons and the family to see if there's any clues about other sort of underlying problems in the area, if there are any.
Okay. All right. Well, you can give me a streetwise check for that then, Sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Gorm, you can give me one too while you're there if you want.
Huh?
Well, there is some scuttlebutt that you do overhear. The big bit being that apparently there's this is something you've known. This is something that anyone who's familiar with Ironhame has known. Is that there's always been some, like, the deep mines have always been dangerous. There are lots of sort of dark and nasty beasties that live down way deep underground and always have been, of various sorts. And it sounds like that the King of Ironhame has decided recently, this sort of scuttlebutt, there's basically sort of word is going around that he's been sort of recruiting mercenaries and such to bolster his armed forces, because apparently he's planning on sort of doing a military thrust deeper into the mines, declare some of those beasties and such out. At least that's sort of that's the running theory, to make things a bit safer for the miners and such.
Geez, how long? I'm trying to think of how long this particular issue has been an issue when it comes to the mines.
Oh, it's always been a problem of sorts. I mean, they haven't done a big sort of gather, like bordering on an army to send down there in at least a century, and possibly longer. Because usually, like, just sending a few soldiers down, like a squad down, is enough to clear an area out to make it safe for the miners.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he's assembling what sounds like a large armed force, that probably for doing that, seems unusual.
Yes, that is indeed a very interesting point about just kind of how much they're gearing up, given how long the problem's always been. It's just, I'm curious as to the timing as to why now. But as for having Garen around, I referred him by his assumed name, not his birth name, to reduce any potential.
Name, right.
Yeah.
So Gromy.
So that's yeah. That's basically what I'll be doing, kind of while he's around.
All right, so
and let's see this.
okay, so all right. Anything else you guys are doing there?
I would say not.
Helping out, chatting, doing stuff.
They're more than happy to have someone like Yorm helping out, moving stuff, big heavy stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
Another pair of strong arms and a strong back is always welcome.
Right.
I'm gonna let Lavindeus broach the subject of an alternate place to crash.
Well, not sure if necessarily this would be an alternate place for you to crash in, but at least it's a place that's not the tavern for the time being.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you guys sort of. We'll move over to Nick. What is Hannah up to?
Oh, she's just hanging at the bar.
Okay.
Mostly wanted to stay in that spot in case word comes from the church.
Fair enough. All right. Well, a bit later in the day, sort of a bit past lunchtime, and it's pretty busy at this time. Brother Walker Gex walks back, sort of comes back into the bar, orders a tankard of ale, and sits down next to you.
How are things going?
Well, about as I expected, honestly. Nothing. I've been handling the business that I usually come to town for first, just so I can get that out of the way, so I can look into things more closely. And I've gotten most of that out of the way, so I can now focus on the other reason we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of exactly, if one of Despair's agents came here, I'm not sure exactly where he'd go. Is the problem. Also, I need to. If the nameless are indeed stirring, there have to have been signs that have been been showing up from here and there. Someone must have heard something or sensed something, and I'm just not sure where to start to figure that out.
When I visited the church yesterday, I heard from the matron there that she had been experiencing visions, which she seemed to attribute to the nameless.
The goblin, Gex looks up at you surprised. Really? What did she describe? Did she describe them?
Something about iron tower and bleak landscapes.
Well, that would jive with what the historical what the books say about where the nameless were imprisoned. Supposedly, according to legend, they were imprisoned in 9 iron towers, sort of on the fringes of creation, as it were. He shrugs. It might have something to do with it. It might be a sign that they're stirring, or it might just be, an unpleasant dream fueled by reading the wrong book. Unfortunately, I think it's probably the former. Given the things given the things you've seen and we've uncovered. Oh, that's one.
I believe there are other members of the party who are attempting to find if anything has been going on in town, but from what I understand, they hadn't found anything as of last night.
Right. Well, who else would know? I hate to say this, but I think the next stop would probably be to talk to the Silver Star Wizards. And I think they've got an outpost here. They have an outpost here in Ironhame. They are a gigantic pain to deal with. Arrogant know-it-all pricks.
Hana doesn't know anything about anyone in our party being related to the Silver Stars, right?
Nope. Well, word isn't technically, so. Ramia just has problems with them as a concept for reasons. But yeah, he sort of says they know almost as much as they think they do is the problem. They have an infuriating habit of being right about things, despite being obnoxious and, Anyways. But they're probably a good place to start.
I imagine that I'd get along fairly well with Silver Star people. But that doesn't... I'm still not there to say that.
Right. Well, again, they've had a long-standing rivalry with the Quietus Order.
Yeah, and I'd get along better with them now than I would with the Quietus, because Silver Star Wizards haven't kicked me out yet.
Fair point.
And
they make use of their knowledge.
Yeah.
Mind you, they don't share their deeper, darker secrets. They simply don't share with people outside the Order, outside the college. At any rate, so he says, well, that's where I'm headed. If you want to come along, you're more than welcome to come.
I think that I will do so.
Excellent. And he sets off. I'm just going to say, by coincidence, just to make things a bit easier.
I saw this coming.
Yeah. He and Hana pass by the library as Aramia and Cathra are leaving.
Have things developed further?
Not as such, but I'm going to go talk to the Silver Stars just to see if they've if the nameless are stirring. Those who have ties to the less than mundane, very likely have sensed something, and they're as good a place as any to start.
At the mention of the Silver Stars, Aramia is going to show the first emotion since actually joining this group, and is going to look actively angry. I see.
They're insufferable know-it-alls, but they actually do have information.
I must concede that point.
I'll look at Aramia. Listen,
What?
You go to the Church of the Maker and tell the head priest what you think they need to know to keep ready for those to inform those of power. I imagine they've got some connections. Warn them of what you found. I'll go with the walker here. That'll ease your headache and get both and we'll keep. Just do it.
Unless the party wants to stick together, that's fine. I don't care, but
Aramia blinks. Fine. And where do I go?
I would probably know where the Maker
oh
Temple
yes,
is.
you know where the Temple of the Maker is.
Yeah, and if not, Gex does. One of us here will be pointing that out.
Yeah, it's basically they give you directions and point out that it's basically impossible to miss the place.
Thank you.
All right,
and she'll walk off.
I'll
Right.
note that I'm currently keeping my desire to go see the Temple of the Whisperer a bit from the party.
Fair enough.
Hush, hush, as it were.
Indeed. All right. All right. I'll handle the bit at the Silver Star. So you arrive at one of the taller, narrower buildings in town. It's about as close to a tower as they could get.
a skyscraper.
No, it's not quite that. It's a tall, fairly narrow building, but you know.
It can't be a skyscraper. It's in a
ceiling
mountain.
It's
There's no
Tavern
sky to
scraper?
scrape.
It's a ceiling scrapper.
Anyways, you walk inside and you are met at the door by. The door is guarded by a tall, muscle-bound human, actually, with a large sword slung over his back, wearing an iron mask. Basically, that's just got it's a blank iron mask with a pair of eye slits. He's bare-chested, wearing sort of loose pants and a heavy leather belt with a pair of axes hanging off it as well.
Hi, Jason Voorhees.
He looks at you. He looks at the group of you and says, "What's your business?"
I defer to Brother Gex.
Brother Gex looks at I'm Walker Gex, humble servant of the Traveler. I'm here to talk. We're here to gather some information regarding a somewhat sensitive, potentially sensitive matter. I'd like to speak to the head wizard here. He sort of looks down at the goblin, who is at most half his height, probably less than half his height.
Gex is a goblin?
Gex is a goblin, yes.
I actually apologize. I'd probably step out in a moment for
How many
dinner.
sessions
so-
have
Okay.
we been since?
Well, okay, actually, we'll actually sketch.
Sure.
You got to step away for dinner. We'll wrap up fairly shortly after in a bit. So if you need to step away now, that's fine.
That's right. So you know.
Yep, that's fine. We're near the end of what I had prepped, so it's not a big deal. Anyways, so he sort of leads you inside. He basically says, "Wait here." Turns around, and sort of walks back to a desk. Sort of picks up a what looks like a crystal ball. Holds up in front of him, and you hear him sort of talking at it.
For a moment, I thought you were going to tell us that he picks up a small gnome.
No, he does
and
not.
Drags him out and just pulls him out while they're reading a book, and then puts him in front of us.
so many gnomes.
It's like that's the head wizard. Pulled him out of a pile of books and just put him down.
Very well, sir. Yes, it's a walker. Goblin. He turns back and shoulder. Your name, Gex. I do believe that is what I said, sir. Right. Yes, it is him. At least it claimed. The walker the one purporting to be a walker claims that he is Gex. Yes, large brim hat. Looks stupid. You hear Gex sort of grumbling a little bit.
Does not look stupid.
I have a feeling Arami would like this guy.
Right. Very well. The head wizard will see you. Take that door, head up the stairs, top floor, go through the blue door. He's waiting for you. Don't touch anything.
Isla. Thanks.
So you, Gex walks forward, opens the door, the indicated door, and starts walking up the stairs. I take it the other two follow him. Hannah and
Oh, yeah.
Catherine. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you guys follow him up the many flights of stairs to the top floor.
I will be running my hand along the wall. I was told not to touch anything.
touching it.
Exactly. Just
Touching everything.
You arrive at the top floor, and there are two doors, a blue and a red one. Gex opens. Gex looks at that, blinks a couple of times, shrugs, knocks on the blue door.
Why oh why didn't I choose the blue
There's
door?
the blue door.
And you hear a voice say, "Enter!"
Oh great.
in my head, I'm imagining that it's one double door, but just two double doors. If you
the
open
same
the
portal. There's just it's
no,
not,
no, no.
but
If you open the red door, it's not even it's just leads to a room. There's like a paper wall between them.
the door opens, and you see sort of a middle-aged dwarf who's quite bald, with a pair of pince-nez glasses on his perched on his nose, and a long gray beard, wearing deep blue robes, bustling with. Ah, yes, you are Gex. Oh, it is Gex. Excellent. You have two companions. Oh, excellent. Please sit. So Gex finds a seat and sits down. There are other chairs, mostly stools though, in the place. There's one other chair behind the desk, and then a couple other stools out sitting about.
Are there books here?
The place is covered in books.
I'm going to sit in a stool
Every table in the building in the room is covered in books.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a chair, take a stool or something, or whatever seating material there is next to the largest pile of books, and glance at the spines to see what books they are.
Almost all of them basically are sort of various names. About half they're basically names, book of names, basically. So so and so's book of names, and so on and so forth. Volume 1, A to G, etc.
Thaumaturgical machinations and you.
And the other ones are sort of books on magical theory and stuff like that, basically. He sort of walks around behind the desk, sits down, and says, "So, how can the Silver Star Wizards help the Walkers today?" Giving he grins an enormous grin. Gex sort of sighs and says, "Well, I was wondering. We've been seeing some things that lead us to. I've been seeing my companions and I also have been seeing some things that seem to indicate that there might be some indication that the Nameless are stirring, and I figured that this would be a good place to start to see if you might have heard or seen anything that might indicate sort of something along those lines to you as well." The mage sort of leans back, looks over the top of his glasses at the lot of you. So he says, "So you've seen signs that the Nameless are stirring. Interesting."
I have one of the signs with me.
You do? That's fascinating.
I'm gonna pull the dagger out.
Oh, I have
I'm
not.
not gonna. I'm
Sorry.
just going to unwrap the blade because I keep it in a sack.
Right. He sort of looks over. He gets up from behind the desk, comes like walking over as fast as decorum allows. It's very clear he wants to sprint over and like grab it, but he's restraining himself. Fascinating.
I understand his enthusiasm.
That must be one of the daggers of despair of discord. I've not seen one of those. I've not seen one of those outside of a text in back at the college. Oh my goodness, that is fascinating. There's fascinating history behind these things.
I was hoping you could share some of that, since we managed to pull it off a lad in, where were we?
Greystone.
Greystone.
Someone was actually using one. Ha! Well, there's your sign right there. That's very likely. Oh, but you were looking for other stuff. Ah, yes.
That's the brother's business. My business is honestly
Right.
What
Well,
signs we do know.
yes. I'll get to that in a second. So, yes, Brother Gex. Signs of the Naples. Well, perhaps actually. There have been signs in some. One of the younger wizards who joined us here. He's his sort of speciality is divination, as it were, as you may, and decided that and decided to get some experience here in the Dwarflands after he completed his basic training at the academy, and after doing his stint as doing some work for a local fishing village, he decided that he wanted to continue his education here in Ironhame. Decided he wanted to focus on divination, since we have some excellent text on that here. But he's been reporting that he's been seeing some very strange shadows in the divinations, almost as like there's an approaching storm. And I thought not much of that at the time, but with the fact that you mentioned that there have been some other signs, that would seem to indicate that there are distinct possibilities of that. That might possibly tie in there. What else have you heard that might indicate this? If I might be so bold as to ask.
I'm going to repeat the signs that the matron has been seeing.
Iron Tower in a bleak landscape. Well, all the legends say that the nine were imprisoned in 9 iron towers out in the fringes of creation. Of course, there are no actual descriptions of the towers in any text I've ever seen, and the sources I've heard referencing that are sketchy at best. It's oral tradition, nothing really written down in concrete with a name given to it. So, the oral tradition is great for preserving certain aspects of knowledge, but things tend to get distorted over time that way. As the tale changes from teller to teller. Even not obviously not intentionally, it just happens, a little bit over time. That said, interesting. All right, so interesting. Well, I can, of course, go do some more research and see if I can find more information on what I can talk to the young man and see what he knows, and get some more concrete details from him. And of course, I can do some research on our books here, see what I can find of what you've heard. While he's talking, he's constantly glancing over at the dagger because he seems utterly fascinated by it. But he's clearly trying to focus on the reason that Gex came here. Is there anything else that I might be able to assist you with, though? Gexer says, so nothing more concrete. So are you saying that the Silver Stars don't have anything more concrete on the potential return of the Nameless? You see the mage sort of bristles a little bit and says, well, of course we have, there always have been there are legends and tales of the potential return of the Nameless. I mean, that's the sort of thing that gets passed down left and right. I just don't know how much of it would be useful to use, given how apocryphal most of it would be. Gex sort of leans back and sighs and says, at this point, even apocryphal information might actually at least point us in the right direction. The wizard sort of blinks a few times and says, I suppose. Well, I do think there's a text on Legends of the Nameless somewhere in that pile of books there. He says, pointing to the table right next to Cathra.
I will look.
It should be a black-bound book by a man named Arvenis, I believe.
I will look for it and do my best to carefully remove it.
Yes, I assume you packed the dagger up and put it away first.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I figured.
No, I stabbed the book with it and pull it out.
I'm just assuming you didn't sit it down on the floor or anything like that.
No, I'm afraid that that genuinely the fact that this dagger hasn't eaten through the burlap sack I put it in has amazed me.
All right. Well, after about a minute or so looking, you find the book he mentions. And it is a text filled with, effectively, fairy tales. passed down through the ages. Effectively, it's where this man Avenus basically went around the, as near as you can tell from what you're looking at, it went around the world collecting sort of tales, sort of legends and tales about the Nameless from all the various cultures he could find wandering around the world. So it's basically sort of a giant collection of of fairy tales following a particular theme.
Fascinating.
He says, "You're welcome to borrow that while you're here in Ironhame, although I will require it to be returned."
I begin
before you
pouring
leave.
through. I begin reading it immediately. Just going, don't worry. I'll have this done and back to you very quickly.
Excellent. If you're going to take it with you, he rummages around his desk, pulls out a piece of paper, and hands it to you. So just put your mark on the bottom here, and noting that you have possession of, and write the title of the book about, on this line here, and put your mark below that, and just to indicate that you're borrowing that book and that you will return it before you leave town.
I'll do so.
All right. He hands you a quill basically. The quill itself has a silver nib put on the tip. The nib, you notice as you look at it, it has runes on it. It is a magical pen, as near as you can tell.
Of course it is. I will sign with the magic pen.
All right. There is a brief flash of light once you finish your signature.
I was gonna say, as long as it isn't automatically signing in blood, I'm good.
Oh, it's not. No.
It's not that kind of enchanted pen.
No. He proceeds to explain that basically, as long as the book remains within Ironhame, there are no problems. If the book were to leave Ironhame, the contract you just signed effectively would allow him to use divination spells to find you very easily, so that he could recover the book.
I know the value of a book.
Well, we treat all our books with such care. He smiles.
I said a book anyway.
Yes. Anyways, unless there's anything else, I do have some things. If you have the time, I would like to take a look at that dagger. But I do understand. I have some pressing matters to attend to, so I don't have the time right now. Oh, but I so want to take a look at that. No, I have things I must do.
Actually, sir.
Yes.
I'm going to pull out. Let me look at my notes here. The book I have on the Silver Star College.
Mm-hmm.
And ask him if he's and show it to him and ask him, have you read this tome?
I believe I've read a copy of that at some point. He sort of leans in and appears a bit more closely. No, not that one. I read one by a different author.
Would you like to? This was taken from a Quietus library.
Really?
And,
oh, in
I'm
that
looking
case,
to return
I
to
absolutely would adore. I would adore to read over it then.
I am looking to return to put it in someone else's capable hands. I say with a smile, and hand it over to him.
He looks down at it and grins back at you. Why, thank you. I will definitely enjoy reading through this at some point then.
I thought as much. Good day.
All right, and I don't have much more prepared for this week, so I think this is a good point to wrap things up.
Oh, especially because we're missing.
Cool.
So
Yeah, Skitch is not here.
Yeah.
Kishy's off eating foods.
All right, so that's it for this week. I believe next week is MagFest, is it?
No.
Nick, are you around next week?
I am, but I'm not going. I don't know. I
So-
think Skitch is attending. So.
Yeah, so we might not be doing next week because I think Skitch is going to be away. We might do something else next week, but I think we're going to be off with D&D next week because I believe Skitch will be at MagFest. But
It says here it's from the 23rd through the 26th. So yeah.
so there's a good chance we won't be doing D&D next week. We may do something else on stream. I don't know yet. We'll see. Either way, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you all had fun. If you're watching the recording of this on YouTube, hit like and subscribe. You know the deal. Hello, cat.
The cat demands it.
But if we're not here,
Kitty.
yeah. Either way, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, humans.
Bye.